What's up you guys, it's Ben and welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything there is relating to selling on Amazon. Very recently, Jungle Scout came out with their latest consumer trends report for Q2 of 2021. And in this video, what I wanted to do is share some of the key information that I managed to get from this report. Now, this report is actually 47 pages long. However, when it comes to selling on Amazon, given this is my main source of income and this is something that is really important to me, any information I can get around Amazon, its customers, where Amazon is going, and potentially find some opportunities that I could take advantage of, I will definitely make sure to pay a lot of close interest. And this is exactly what I tell all of my students to do as well. Spend at least 1 hour each and every single week learning a little bit more about Amazon, the actual business, as well as the customers, because customer trends, what they're looking for, always continues to change, especially in this ever-changing environment with COVID, now with lockdowns easing and so on. So it's really important, in my opinion, to stay up to date with what's going on so we can stay one step ahead of the competition. With that being said, guys, if you are interested in selling on Amazon, please don't forget to check the links down below for my own personal mentorship, where I will help you start off your Amazon FBA business with product research, speaking to suppliers, and most importantly, avoiding any costly mistakes that a lot of new sellers tend to make. Otherwise, guys, if you're running on a relatively low budget, but you still want to use some of the business tools that I use, please don't forget to check the links down below for Helium 10, the best product research tool out there. Awesome, the best e-commerce accountants out there in the market, or Tide, the best business bank account to start off your Amazon FBA business. With that being said, guys, let's get straight to the video. Right, guys, so before we get into this report, there are two things that I wanted to let you know. First and foremost, there is this 47-page report, and I'm sure you don't want to look through all of it. However, what I will do is show you the key information that I personally find really interesting and I really want you to know as well. And secondly, guys, this report is based on the US market. However, in my personal opinion, UK is very close to the US market, and whatever changes happen in the US usually tend to follow in the UK. This happened with the storage limits, this happened with the increase in fees over years, and many things. So usually, if you want to predict of what's going to happen in the future, having a look at the US market is a very good indication. With that being said, guys, the first thing that I wanted to show you straight away is the key takeaways. And this is something that I found really interesting. And that is the fast and low shipping is now essential for keeping online shoppers happy. At the moment, the customers, what they're looking for, the very main and most important thing is getting items quickly. Okay, it's not so much about the price anymore. If they can pay an extra £1 or £2, but actually getting the items the same day or very soon after, that is what they're preferable for them, to be honest. And as you can see here, it says shoppers want immediate gratification. 91% of consumers expect to receive an online order within a week, and 9% expect all online orders to arrive the same day. I think those 9% usually do get disappointed because getting ordered the same day, we're still not there yet. But it just goes to show as to that how effective Amazon's FBA model is, given that they're still one of the few places that can offer next day delivery. They have been well ahead of time and saw this trend coming along the way. Now, also what I found interesting, the second part here is, where does Walmart beat Amazon? This doesn't really apply to us at the moment. However, what it does show that there is still room for other big companies to grow in the e-commerce space as well, because Walmart is clearly beating Amazon in prices and grocery. And here in the UK, I would argue that eBay is beating Amazon on prices, and in terms of groceries, you have various other companies such as Ocado that people use for online grocery delivery as well. And what I also found interesting in this very key takeaway here is that over the past year, more consumers got in and second-hand market to earn extra income or save. Okay, Amazon has served as a popular vehicle for buying and selling pre-owned items online. Among customers buying or selling pre-owned items online, 66% they say they do that on Amazon. I personally think in UK that is still not the case. If you're looking for used items, in my personal research, I've seen that more people go onto things such as eBay, maybe Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace. Amazon is still seen as more of a new shop, where you actually shop for brand new items that have not been used, that have not been opened. However, that trend now, as you can see, is starting to switch, where people will actually come onto Amazon to buy some used items as well. The next thing that I wanted to highlight that is actually quite interesting is what US customers are prioritizing in Q2 of 2021. And as you can see, there are quite a few things here, such as family, physical health and well-being, mental health and well-being, finances, friends, pets, hobbies and interests, and so on and so forth. Why is this important information? Well, for me personally, this is the perfect list for my next product research. This is what I want to gear my next product towards, because this is exactly what US customers are prioritizing in Q2. What I also found interesting is that nearly 1 in 5 customers welcomed home a new pet in the last 12 months. This is the reason why I went into quite a few pet-related products, given that demand for pet-related stuff has gone through the roof. Again, guys, this is something that you should be looking into and kind of forecasting what's going to happen in Q3, Q4. So by that time, if you can predict it correctly, you already have a product on Amazon selling, ready for that increase in demand. In this next part, here we can see a little bit more information about the pre-owned items that they originally spoke about. And as you can see, still 66% of customers use Amazon to buy pre-owned items. However, eBay isn't too far behind with 37, and I personally think this is a much higher number here in the UK. Facebook Marketplace at 25, and Craigslist, which I believe is Gumtree, the equivalent of Gumtree here in the UK, is at 18%. This is really important information for me, because what I'm now potentially maybe looking is if this trend continues into Q3 and Q4 and more people here in the UK are going to start looking for pre-owned items, I will start having a look around where I could potentially find a lot of these pre-owned items that most people are no longer interested in, where I could potentially get them cheaply and then potentially resell them. Now, I'm probably not going to mix my businesses and start selling pre-owned items on Amazon, but that's not to say that I can't start doing that on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, or anywhere else. This is really valuable information. And what also I find interesting is it gives me actually even ideas to look into: clothing, books, electronics, furniture, and so on. Me personally, I probably would not be going into clothing and books because of the refund rate that is associated with these two categories. However, electronics, in my personal opinion, there is a lot of money to be made even in pre-owned electronics for people that are starting to sell on Amazon. The next thing that I wanted to highlight to you guys is consumers' online delivery expectations. And as you can see, the vast majority of people, 9, 18, and 41%, expect their products to come in within 2 to 3 days. We have now improved our expectations because of Amazon and because of quite a few other marketplaces to get our products quickly. Okay, so what does this mean to me? Well, not much, because I'm already selling on Prime and therefore all of my products are eligible for same day or next day delivery. However, for all of the people that are selling via FBA, i.e. fulfillment themselves, i.e. they go to the post office themselves, etc., this is something that's quite alarming, because the expectations of the customers are continuously changing into Prime, into FBA, because they want their items as soon as possible. And I would argue that a lot of customers would actually pay slightly more to get the item the same day or the next day, as opposed to wait for 5 to 7 days. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is expectations when ordering online. Basically, what this means is what customers are looking for when it comes to making their purchasing decision, in my eyes. And as you can see, the top one they've said is, I'm influenced by product with the best ratings and reviews. And 70% of that has strongly agreed. Now, there has been so much negative publicity about Amazon being manipulated with reviews and ratings and stuff. And I really wanted to know whether or not that has impacted. However, it is still the number one reason and the number one factor when it comes to actually making your purchasing decision. Of course, the second one is going to be, I'm looking for the product with the lowest price. You always expect that to be in the top 3. But then what I also really found interesting, and this reiterates what I tell my students each and every single day, to make sure your product stands out as much as possible from the rest of the competition. The number 3 factor, which 67% people agree, I'm influenced by products, ratings, and reviews that contain photos or videos. If you're going to get people to actually review your product, don't be lazy. Get them to actually write the review and actually send some pictures as well. With picture reviews, you're going to get so much better conversion rate that is so underrated by most people out there. Okay, this is so important, because you really want to put your best foot forward with the images, with the listing, and also with the reviews as well. Reviews with pictures work way better than a simple 1-sentence review. Okay, it's not just the amount of reviews that you get, it's also the quality of the reviews that matter too. I absolutely love this statistic because this is where the money was made during COVID. This shows products that have been difficult to find since the outbreak of COVID-19. Any one of these products, if you happen to sell them during of last year and beginning of this year, you were selling them crazy amounts and also at crazy profits as well. Now, of course, with the increase in demand, there were a lot of supply chain issues. However, if you were able to sell toilet paper, hand sanitizer, those things are probably more dominated by the big brands. However, you could have very easily went for something like disposable gloves, thermometers, exercise equipment was a big one, gardening supplies, office supplies as well. You definitely made money selling those products in last year and the beginning of this year. And here is a bit more information about what categories do people want to actually go in to buy in Q1 and Q2 in comparison to last year. And as you can see, this is the information for pretty much each and every single category, but the categories that have rose the most Q1 compared to Q4 in 2020 has been garden and outdoor, which is exactly the same here in the UK. I can vouch for that. Office supplies, yes, to some degree. However, a lot of people still tend to work from home, so not as much. Exercise and fitness equipment, absolutely, and automotive parts and accessories. I personally can't really comment on that because I don't sell them myself. However, these three I definitely agree with have seen an increase in demand in Q1 and Q2, partly Q2 as well. Now, this next slide just shows you the dominance of Amazon around the world. As you can see, most people online shopped in the last 3 months. 71% of them has actually shopped on Amazon at some point in the last 3 months. And this is more than, well, almost double to the second biggest player, which is Walmart.com. Now, in UK, of course, in my opinion, it'll probably be eBay and then followed probably by Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree. And I believe those two marketplaces will continue to take some share from Amazon in the e-commerce space, whilst Amazon actually follows on other areas such as groceries and potentially other places as well. But what's interesting to me is that even in 2021, I mean, Amazon has been dominating the e-commerce space for quite some time now. They are still by far the biggest player in the e-commerce space. And if you are going to sell online, Amazon should be the very first place you should consider when it comes to starting your business. And look at the changes in customer trends in order of preference. In comparison Q2 to Q1, free shipping has still been by far the most important part for most customers. However, second, has changed from lower prices to convenience. And what does that mean? What basically means is it makes the process extremely simple. Having Amazon to do one-click purchases, having the convenience to get somebody deliver it at your doorstep is very, very highly important to most customers, even more so than the lower prices. No longer is the price the main factor for most people when it comes to shopping online. They really now decide, oh, how convenient is it going to be? How much am out of my way am I going to have to go, and so on. So having Amazon, the most consumer-centric website, consumer-centric company out there with free shipping, with extraordinary convenience, puts them ahead of everybody else, and in my personal opinion will continue to do so for many, many years to come. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys that I also think is really important and a bit of information that you should take when considering your own listing and how it looks is the top devices consumers use to shop online. And as you can see, 61% is being used by a personal computer. However, surprisingly, just as many people have actually used mobile phone or a smartphone to make their purchasing decision. Now, what does that mean to me? That means I have to go through all of my listing and see how do they look on my phone, because the layout is different, the descriptions are different, the title may look much more clustered on a mobile phone as opposed to a personal computer. The pictures need to be very, very high quality because on the phone it's much easier to zoom in because the screen is smaller, and therefore you need to make sure your pictures are of high quality. You need to make sure when you create your first listing and you start selling on Amazon, you need to check how it looks on the personal computer as well as on your phone as well, and be happy with both. With that being said, guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you found it useful, and as I said before, it's key for you to always be up to date with what's going on in the market. As mentioned below, please don't forget to check the links down below for my own personal mentorship. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.